The Holy Gospel according to St. John, the 15th chapter. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. You are my friends if you do what I command you. I do not call you servant any longer, because the servant does not know what the master is doing. But I have called you friends, because I have made known to you everything that I have heard from my Father. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and I appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that you will last, so that the Father will give you whatever you ask him in my name. I am giving you these commandments so that you may love one another. The Gospel of the Lord. You may be seated. Wow, another Mother's Day. I gotta say, when I look out at the sanctuary and I look at all the gorgeous ladies, God knows what he's doing with his mothers. The beautiful flowers here are for anyone to share after Mass, okay? It's a day of special thanksgiving to God for the love, the care of mothers. It is time to show gratitude and thanks to our mothers, our wives, our girlfriends, our grandmothers, aunts, all women really, Sabine included. You do so much, and we are thankful. It is also time to reflect on those grieving a mother, or those who dearly wanted to have children, but for some reason were not able to. A mother's love for their children is instinctive. Once the mother holds that baby in their arms, there's nothing she won't do for that child. Her love for the baby is unconditional and complete. Her love continues as the child grows from a little toddler to a young adult. In that same time, though, that same time frame, the baby grows out of the mother's arms into the world where the love is not the same. In this world, we go through a roller coaster with people, at times admired, then overlooked, at times praised, and then put down. We feel that people don't care about us. when we get wrapped up in this, back and forth on a daily with our brothers and sisters, we begin to think that God must feel the same way as humans. Just like we love and then don't love our fellow people, God at times loves and doesn't love us. No way. Nothing could be further from the truth. God's love is unconditional, it is complete, and it is eternal. He loved us while we were sinners. Christ died for us. Christ doesn't love us most of the time. He loves us all of the time. Now watch this. His love for us does not depend on us living a Christian life. He loves us even when we are sinning. Let's be clear. He does not love the sinning, but he loves us. Jesus says, love one another as I have loved you. You may wonder, how do we do that? Well, think of a mother. The mother loves the child unconditional. Loving Christ is selfless. We put others before ourselves. Loving Christ is strong. We step up and stand for our families and protect them. Loving Christ brings together life, our heart, and our faith. It is not some fuzzy feeling, in the abstract. Loving Christ is forgiving. Not because they deserve it, because if they deserve it, it wouldn't be forgiveness. Let's think about forgiveness for a minute. Forgiveness is letting go of past hurts. It's not like you are saying what they did or what happened was right. You better believe it was not. Forgiveness is a decision and a recognition that the person no longer owes anything. The message here is love. Jesus said, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." And he's not talking about, like I said, a sugary sweet meaning of love that we usually think about. He's talking about love that is shared among genuine friends. That is what John calls agape love. You want no harm to come to that friend, just like you want the best for your friend. If I could share a little quick story. When I first came to this country, Vietnam War was ending. I have some cousins who fought in that war. And there's a story I read some time ago about a Navy doctor who got into a village, and he was working with a nurse, and somehow a bomb landed, and the shrapnel hurt a little girl. The little girl was bleeding and needed a transfusion. Unfortunately, the doctor and the nurse couldn't speak Vietnamese, so they couldn't ask the people for a donor. Their blood didn't match the type of the girl. So frantically, the two of them got together, I don't know if you went to high school here, but a high school French class, and they put their words together in sign language and told the people to what they wanted. And silence fell on the village. No one said a word. They began wondering, why? How come nobody wants to volunteer? And finally, this little boy, about her age, timidly raised his hand. And they looked at him at first in wonder, but that was their only shot. So they grabbed the kid, they put him on the bench, they started swabbing his arms and everything with alcohol. They inject the thing for the transfusion. Everything is going smooth. And then after a quick minute, the kid started sobbing. They wondered why. Why is he crying? Is it hurting him? They make sure everything is fine. But he's crying. He takes the other arm and covers his eyes. They almost were ready to abort because they don't want to hurt another person. And then a Vietnamese woman came, a nurse, who obviously spoke the language. And then she goes to the kid, "Are you hurt? Is everything okay?" He can't even hear, so much she's crying. And then so the woman explains to him, "They're only taking some of your blood to give to the girl, and then she will be better." The kid uncovered his eyes, stopped crying. What's going on? The American doctor asked, "What's happening?" The Vietnamese nurse asked the kid. The kid answered, "I didn't know. I thought they were going to take all of my blood to give to the girl," which means he was going to die. The American doctor says, "What?" Obviously, we would never do that. But how can you volunteer for such a task? The kid answers, "She's my friend." Wouldn't you want a friend like that? We all had a friend just like that. He died some 1900 years ago on a hill named Calvary. Jesus told us, "You are my friends if you do what I command you." And the command is simple. "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." My little Olivia would say, "Oopsie," because you would wonder, how did this relationship come to be? Remember, we talked about in the upper room when the disciples were hiding? That's where Jesus told them, "You did not choose me. I chose you." If Jesus wanted a quick win in the religion game, a sure bet would have been the Pharisees. They prayed, they knew their Bibles, they were already religious. Instead, he picked the foul-mouthed sailors. He chose a tax collector. He chose a revolutionary. And he chose us. We are sinners. We are less than perfect. It is through us that God works. As we love our brothers, our sisters, as we listen, as we share our stories of faith, as we encourage, challenge, comfort, as we feed the hungry, clothe the naked, give drink to the thirsty, visit the sick. We do all these things to him. Most certainly, I tell you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers, you did it to me, is what God says. We love because God first loved us. Let us love one another.